Okay, let's dive in. Welcome, everyone.
Great to be here.
So today we're digging into some really interesting material, all centered around this idea of uh, rewriting your money story for lasting wealth and freedom.
Yeah, it's a powerful concept.
Our mission really is to unpack this guide, get a handle on his core ideas, and see how we can use them to think differently about money, maybe build some real financial well-being.
It's like looking at the very seed, right? The seed of our financial habits and beliefs.
Exactly. Getting to the root cause, not just dealing with the symptoms.
That's it, looking beyond the surface stuff. And this guide, it offers a pretty clear framework, like you said, almost like a blueprint or maybe a gardener's guide, but for your finances.
A gardener's guide, I like that.
Oh.
Because the material kicks off in part one, understanding your money blueprint, with this great tree analogy. It's like, imagine you're trying to grow a tree, right? You do everything you think you should, watering, sunlight, all that nurturing stuff.
Right,
But the fruit, it's always sour.
right. You work harder, water more.
And nothing changes. Still sour fruit.
Yeah.
Why? Well, the guide points out, the problem isn't the watering. It's the seed you planted in the first place.
That's such a brilliant way to frame it. It shows that your financial reality, the fruit like your bank balance, your debt, even just how secure you feel,
Yeah.
it comes directly from your underlying beliefs, your thoughts about money. Those are the seed or the roots they talk about.
And what's really interesting is this money blueprint idea.
Yeah.
It's something most of us just absorbed growing up, kind of unconsciously.
Totally, we just soaked it up.
So these roots could be things we heard over and over, like money doesn't grow on trees.
Or maybe rich people are greedy, stuff like that.
Those ideas just get lodged deep down, don't they?
Absolutely, they become your default setting, like your mental operating system.
Yeah.
Your truth, just through repetition, even if they're not really serving you, or even, true.
Right.
So the first big idea here is just getting this. The roots determine the fruit. Simple as that. If you want different results financially,
You got to look at the roots.
you have to look at changing those roots. Yeah.
Which, okay, leads straight into figuring out what those roots actually are. Step 2 in the guide is about identifying hidden beliefs.
Uncovering them.
Tells the story about a guy named Marcus. Worked super hard his whole life. Always seemed to just scrape by, but never really got ahead financially.
Just comfortable.
Exactly. When someone asked him about being rich, he'd just sort of shrug and say, I just want to be comfortable.
But underneath that, right, there was this hidden belief, this deep idea that being wealthy meant being, selfish, unethical.
Yeah, something he wasn't even consciously aware of. Not until he was asked about what his parents thought about money.
And bang, the light bulb goes on.
Totally. His dad always used to say, rich people cheat.
Yeah.
And his mom had this ingrained thing, like, oh, they're not that kind of family. Linking wealth with being somehow wrong.
So Marcus was basically just living out their money script. Their limitations became his.
It's such a powerful story because it makes it so concrete. And the guide gives you something practical right there. Write down 3 big money beliefs you picked up growing up.
Just jot him down.
And then this is the crucial bit. Ask yourself, are they actually true? Like, really true for you? Challenging those old assumptions is just essential.
Absolutely essential. That's the starting point for change.
Okay, so once you start spotting those limiting beliefs, the weeds in your garden, basically the next step, step 3, is replace limiting thoughts.
Makes sense. You got to plant something else.
Yeah, the garden analogy comes back. If you don't actively plant the flowers you want, weeds just take over.
Right.
Things like, I can't afford that, or money's so stressful, they just fill the space.
And it mentions that Brian Tracy quote, which is so true. You become what you think about most of the time.
So true.
So if your head is full of lack and stress around money, well, that's probably what your reality is reflecting. To change the results, you got to change the dominant thoughts.
Which means consciously swapping out those weeds. So instead of that automatic, I can't afford that, you train yourself to ask, okay, how can I afford it?
It's a subtle shift, but wow, it's powerful. It goes from a dead end to an open door, a question of possibility.
Right. Or instead of, I'll never be rich, maybe something like, okay, I'm learning how to create wealth.
And the guide's really clear here. This isn't about kidding yourself or pretending things are different right now.
So it's not denial.
No, it's about where you put your mental energy. Shifting focus from can't, which is static, to growth and possibility, that dynamic state. You're planting new seeds, better seeds.
But thinking isn't enough, right? The guide really stresses this. Mindset needs action. So step 4 is key. take small action.
Yeah, you don't have to do everything at once. Build the mansion on day one, you know?
Right.
The important thing is just getting started, building momentum, one little step.
I think it's really simple, practical examples like open a savings account. Even if you only put in, say, $10 a week to start, just start the habit.
Or track your spending for a month, just seeing where it goes. That awareness alone is huge.
Huge. Or read a book about wealth. Maybe just one chapter a day.
Yeah.
Small commitment.
It's not about these grand, perfect gestures. It's about consistency. Those small, steady steps, like watering those new seeds you just planted, right, giving them a chance to actually grow.
Makes sense. And to make those new beliefs really stick, you need repetition. That's step 5. Rewire through repetition.
Our brains love patterns. Repetition works. If you hear something 1,000 times, even if it's nonsense, it starts to feel true.
So we need to consciously repeat the good stuff, create new truths. The guide suggests specific affirmations you can say every day, maybe even out loud.
Things like, I'm the creator of my financial life.
Money is a tool that helps me serve others.
And I am learning and growing every day. Simple but powerful.
And putting them where you'll see them, like the bathroom mirror, phone background, the fridge.
Yeah, constant reminders. It literally helps rewire those old pathways in your brain. And that first part of the guide wraps up with this really empowering message. You're not your past money mistakes. You're not your parents' beliefs. You're not your current bank balance.
You're a gardener.
You're the gardener, and now you know how to start planting better seeds.
What a great foundation.
Yeah.
Okay, so from understanding that blueprint, the guide moves into part 2, which is all about building the wealth mindset.
Right, so it's not just fixing the old problems, but actively cultivating a way of thinking that, attracts and grows wealth.
And step 6 is huge here. Adopt the abundance mindset.
Yeah, this is fundamental. The guide contrasts it really well with scarcity thinking. Scarcity is that feeling of never enough.
Like if I win, someone else has to lose. That zero-sum game.
Exactly, and that breeds fear, jealousy, comparison, all that negative stuff.
Whereas abundance thinking is, well, the opposite. There's more than enough to go around. They can all grow together.
It feels so much more expansive, doesn't it? Leads to more peace, cooperation, confidence.
Definitely. The example it gives about Samantha really hits this home.
Oh, yeah, the coworker's promotion.
Right, she used to feel resentful, competitive, that's scarcity, right? But when she deliberately shifted to celebrating her coworker's success,
which is abundance,
her whole perspective changed. And that shift actually opened doors for her own career and financial growth down the line.
It's a great illustration. The lesson being, genuinely celebrating other people's wins actually tells your own brain, hey, there's room for me to succeed too. It's a powerful mental hack.
Okay, that connects nicely to step 7. Increase your value, not just your effort.
This one's crucial. It pushes back against that common idea that just working more hours automatically means more money.
Which often isn't true.
No. The guide's clear.
Yeah.
You get paid for the value you bring, not just the time you put in.
That's a big distinction. The story comparing John, the guy cleaning offices 12 hours a day, with Lisa, designing apps for maybe 5 hours.
But earning way more.
Way more, because Lisa's skills provide higher market value.
So the key question isn't how can I work harder? The guide suggests asking how can I grow my value?
And it gives some quick tips for that, like learn skills people pay for digital marketing, coding, sales.
Become a problem solver. People pay good money to have their problems solved, their pain removed.
And work on communication. Being able to articulate your value is huge.
That Tony Robbins quote fits perfectly here.
Yeah.
The only limit to your impact is your imagination and commitment. Your value isn't fixed, you can expand it.
Love that. Which falls into step 8. See yourself as a wealth creator.
Yeah, the analogy here is really insightful. Imagine you're a river and money is the water.
Okay.
If the riverbed is clogged with big rocks, fear, doubt, shame about money, the water can't flow properly, right? It gets stuck, constricted.
Makes sense, like your financial life feels blocked.
Exactly. But when you clear those blocks, the money can flow freely and powerfully.
So it's a perspective shift. Wealthy people, or those building wealth, they don't just see themselves as workers trading time or victims of circumstance.
No, they see themselves as active creators. They ask different questions.
Instead of just, where can I find a job?
It's more like, okay, what can I build here? Or what service could I offer? Or how can I help more people solve this problem?
Like David the teacher in the guide story. Struggling financially, but instead of just waiting.
He started tutoring kids online. He created something, a service.
Right. He improved his skills, got results for his students. Word got out.
And his tutoring business grew into a six-figure income. He didn't just find a job, he became a creator of value, and income followed.
It really shows that wealth creation often starts with initiative, with building something that serves others.
Definitely. And while you're building, step 9 brings in a crucial element. Find purpose, not just profit.
So it's not just about the money.
No. The guide argues that real, lasting fulfillment comes when you connect your work to something meaningful, a bigger why.
That makes sense. Purpose fuels you, doesn't it? Gives you energy to keep going when things get tough.
Like that Denzel Washington quote mentioned, ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Purpose helps you push through the hardship.
It's like an inner compass.
Exactly. And that purpose could be anything, really. Providing for family, building something cool, making life better for others in some way.
The guide suggests asking yourself that powerful question. If money was no object, how would I really want to spend my time?
Yeah, the answer might point straight to your true purpose.
Okay, last one in this mindset section. Step 10. Take smart risks.
Right, because let's be real, people who build significant wealth, they often fail along the way. Why? Because they take risks.
But smart risks. Calculated risks.
That's the key distinction. It's not about being reckless or gambling the farm. A calculated risk means doing your homework, really assessing the potential downside.
Making sure you don't risk everything.
Exactly. And crucially, committing to learn from the outcome, win or lose.
The analogy of weaving a net is good here. Each try, each smart risk, it strengthens the thread. Your knowledge, your resilience.
Until you build a net strong enough to catch bigger opportunities. So yeah, part 2 really covers that internal shift. Abundance, value, creator mindset, purpose, smart risks. Becoming the kind of person who attracts wealth.
Okay, so we've got the mindset. Now, part 3 is where it gets really practical. Habits that build lasting wealth, making it stick.
Exactly. Turning mindset into consistent action. Because success, as the guide points out, it's usually less about luck and more about these intentional daily habits.
And step 11 is a classic.
Yes.
So simple, but so powerful. Pay yourself first.
The foundation for so many self-made millionaires, it just means before you pay any bills, any expenses,
Anything else?
you set aside money for your future first. Period.
It sends such a strong message to yourself, doesn't it? Like, I value myself. My future matters.
Totally. And the amount isn't the main thing, especially at first. It's the consistency, making it a non-negotiable habit.
It's like that farming analogy again. You can't eat all your seeds, right?
Yeah.
You got to save some to plant for next season.
Keep some harvest back to grow more later. And the practical tip is simple. Open a separate account. Call it your freedom fund or whatever works.
You just start. Small, maybe, but start. And be consistent.
Then step 12 tackles something huge. Overwhelm. It says a lot of money struggles aren't laziness, they're just feeling swamped, lacking a system.
Like trying to carry water in your hands instead of a bucket just slips through.
You need a container, a simple, repeatable system for your money. The guide mentions a couple of popular ones.
Like the 50-30-20 rule. 50% needs, 30% wants, 20% future.
Yeah, or that 7 or 1-0-1-0-1 split, 70% living, 10% giving, 10% saving, 10% growing investing. The exact system matters less than having
And
one.
you can killer tip to make any system work.
Automate it. Set up those automatic transfers. Money goes straight to savings or investments right when you get paid. Takes willpower out of the equation.
Smart.
Yeah.
Okay, step 13 circles back to the mind, but in terms of daily practice, train your mind daily.
Right. That wealth mindset. It's like a muscle. Needs regular workouts. Can't just hit the mental gym once and expect lasting results.
So build habits that reinforce it every day. The guide suggests things like read 10 minutes from a good book on success or money.
Listen to a positive podcast, mindset, business during your commute maybe.
Write down your goals. Repeat those affirmations we talked about earlier.
Starting the day with things like, I deserve abundance, my habits create my future, every day I grow wiser and wealthier. It sets the tone.
Like that Joe Dispenza quote, to change is to think greater than your environment. Your thoughts can lift you.
Absolutely. Now, step 14 is really critical for actual wealth building.
Invest in assets, not just comfort.
The difference between assets and liabilities.
It's so easy to spend on things that feel good now, new phone, fancy meal, latest gadget, but those are usually liabilities. They take money out of your pocket.
And give nothing back financially.
Exactly. Assets, on the other hand, put money into your pocket or grow in value. The guide gives clear examples.
Like rental property, a side business, stocks, mutual funds, Even investing in yourself. Buying courses, books, things that increase your skills and earning potential, those are assets too.
So the key question before buying something becomes, will this help me grow long-term or just feel good today?
That's a powerful filter for spending decisions.
Definitely. Okay, finally, step 15 encourages a shift in the ultimate goal. Focus on freedom, not just riches.
Yeah, because just having a lot of money isn't necessarily the end game. Freedom is arguably a higher goal.
And freedom here means
What?
having choices.
Exactly. Working because you want to, not because you have to. Having time for family, travel, rest, creativity, living a life aligned with your values. Money's the vehicle.
Freedom's the destination.
You got it.
Right.
And that freedom, it doesn't just happen by luck. The guide says it comes from mindset, habits, patience, and commitment.
It takes consistent effort.
For sure. The story of Ellie, the music teacher, wraps this up nicely. Started small, saved consistently, built her business,
Created a studio, hired others.
and now she has freedom. Teaches when she wants, enjoys her kids, has passive income. She built freedom, not just chased a dollar amount. And the point is, you can too.
That's inspiring. Okay, so to quickly recap the whole journey through this guide.
Yeah, it breaks down into those 3 core parts. First, rewriting your money blueprint, understanding beliefs shape reality, finding limiting ones, planting better ones.
Second, building the wealth mindset, thinking abundantly, focusing on value, seeing yourself as a creator, connecting to purpose, taking smart risks.
And third, those habits that build wealth, pay yourself first, use systems, automate, invest in assets, and keep your eye on the prize. Freedom.
It really is a clear, actionable framework, isn't it? Not just theory, but practical steps.
Yeah.
A pathway to genuinely transform your financial life.
It takes work, no doubt. Awareness, consistent effort. But the potential payoff is huge. A different financial future.
So, as you're thinking about all this, building on that idea of being the gardener of your finances, here's maybe a final thought to chew on. If your financial life is a garden, what's the one new seed? Could be a belief, could be a tiny action. What's the one seed you'll plant today?
And what daily habit will be the water you give it? Just pick one thing from this guide that resonated and maybe take that first small step.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.